want to say something, one thing before the presentation. Is that today is very special for New Zealand. I think like for myself and many of us is international students, that's a very good chance to know and understand more about New Zealand and people and history. Because you know, it's the same day and 100 years ago, almost 3,000 New Zealand soldiers died for this country and for this nation. This is why the Anzac Day coming from. As I know these things a long time ago, but after I come here, I just getting close to understand and to get clear about this history. That's what I want to say before I start my presentation. So my presentation today is the purpose of review of learning. So in this presentation, I just want to make a statement first for my purpose of ROL, and after that is describe and explain this for myself. I take a long journey to this point, and then is just demonstrate some process of study and my self-learning about the course. And next is discuss some, there's approaches about reflection and reflective practice. And the last, just some self-evaluation about myself for my learning and study for this course. So the purpose for review of learning is improve academic capability in order to make a transition to a new professional area. So I just want to explain and describe this because for me, for myself, is just comparing with all many of us in this classroom. I have totally different than most of us because I don't have any relevant practical experience on this professional field. So I have been working in China and New Zealand by different times. In China, I have taken about working time is 13 years since 1989, graduation from university, and after 2002, I moved immigrant to New Zealand in Auckland. I've been working about almost 10 years for the company. So first job in China, I just exactly experienced those from a novice to the senior practitioner, those process. So after 1995, I think I have a deal with about 160,000 square meters in the showground in Guangzhou. The old name is Canton. As we call them a Canton Fair. That's the little picture down there. So I guess it's probably not familiar with you guys, but with many of business people in New Zealand and Australia, they're quite familiar with this Canton Fair because they even come to a Sky City twice every year to do the promotion for this. My job is to look after, maintain, manage those very big, huge showground. It's totally about 150 is under my order to maintain and make sure properly and all the service goes through in a showground. So one of the biggest advantage from this job in China for me is I got a lots of opportunity to travel overseas because we're doing a promotion for the Canton Fair, and at the same time we bring the Chinese business people go to attending other trade show around the world, especially in America and Germany, because they are very good at those kind of business. The second job I have in New Zealand is I work for this company called Bellman New Zealand. So I read some and go through the internet at the beginning of the job because at the moment I just realized that many of the Kiwis know this company because of their products. So, but to be honest, at the beginning, I'm really struggling and frustrating because of the language barrier. I'm lucky to get in the company by one of my best friends because her brother had been in New Zealand 20 years. So he know one of the manager in this company. So they call me in because he know myself very well because of my background. I know all the Chinese export and the international business, the policy about in China, and I know the communities very, very well. This is why they call me in. On that moment, but I'm good is got a very good manager. He just encouraged me to deal with the job and the situation. But the job is quite easy. I think it's quite lower level with lack of technique and skills. But one of the big problem issue for myself is the language barrier. I even sometimes, I don't have a confidence to answer the phone and talk to the reps around the North Island. Because, on that moment, before 2006, I even couldn't understand the Kiwi talking, especially on a mobile when they drive the truck. Yeah, that's a very, very, and it seems go through the 2005, 2006, I go through a very, very gradually progress. Because one thing is the manager is very nice. It's a Kiwi lady, is supporting me. He always tell me, Richard, you can do it, you can do it. This will make myself, really appreciated that. But the only thing I can do for return, I just make some Chinese dumpling for her. Yeah. That's a hard process for me in that job. But after I get everything controlled, because I have, what I do actually for Biomet, I have done 3 jobs for the boss, for the owner. One thing is the warehouse manager. I have 2 duties. One is the production line in South Auckland. And our big service center and the warehouse in Albany. So I drive around all the time from Albany to Otahu. That's one job. The second job is just like in New Zealand, they call them a buyer assistant. It's just, I don't know, somebody told me, but I exactly do. Because the owner always need to talk about a supplier in China. So he always ask some background and some information about the communities. The third job definitely is interpreting. Because sometimes you got the supplier from Asia, Hong Kong, Singapore, because I speak both of the Cantonese and the Chinese Mandarin. This is why later on I got to study, I got my certificate of interpreting from Unitech last year. Yeah, I done 3 jobs for this. Is why I was thinking, the boss, they're very smart, aren't they? So, but for myself, I was thinking, okay, it's getting better now. I got confidence, I got experience, and my language speaking, ability is improved. So I'm thinking, probably I have to change because in my bottom of my heart, I was thinking that's not really what I want. Just exactly when I make a decision, left China, moved, immigrant to New Zealand, exactly same thing. This is why, I put on ambiguity and liminality, because for myself, I really is first thing when I involved this class, this course, is at the beginning we were given an article, chapter 2 of that book. At the beginning, I'm really impressed is when the immigration arrived in New York. So in my mind, on that moment is Vito, the Godfather, the little young Vito, his appearance. On a movie. So I just thinking exactly like myself, when I come to Auckland, I live here, I'm lucky enough because I got a very good landlord, look after me. But at the same time, I always thinking, who am I? Just exactly same. I have a very, very strong impression about that beginning of chapter 2. This exactly same question I'm go over in my mind all the time at the beginning when I arrive here. Yeah. That's why I write just like a boat sailing on the dock. Yeah, exactly is my feelings through all the last more than 10 years. Yeah, until I see the bacon, I'm thinking, until I see the bacon, I guess the course and the Alex is the bacons for me. Yeah, just exactly like that. That's the whole process of what I come, from my previous life and working experience until now. So after the course start, I just, I got a problem is one thing is relevant practical experience. And the second thing is the language problem. I still have this thing. And I'm still working on chapter 5 we were given. because Alex advised me this chapter is very good for me. It's very good. I have a good went through chapter 4 and chapter 5. I still haven't done chapter 3 yet. While doing this, middle break. And chapter 5 just give me some summarized idea, like a new practitioner is always difficult because I don't have a professional experience, but I have my previous working experience because I have went through those things a couple of times already. Because for a new one, you're always difficult and very slow to be progress. At the same time, you need a very good positive mentoring. I'm a lucky person because in my first job in China and the second job in New Zealand, I always met very, very nice people to help me out. Yeah, this is why I always send to God, because before in China we can't say that, you send for God, But in my bottom part, I really thinking that. So I just thinking about when I was little, my mom told me, first thing to be good, second thing is to be honest. You will be fine whole life. That's my mom told me. They passed away on 2008. Yeah, this is what I'm thinking, and relate to this article, I got a very strong feeling about this thing. Definitely is from the chapter give me another feeling is the new beginner or new professional always shows a very fragile and incomplete professional self. Yeah, I guess it's a very good description about myself. Yeah. The second book is this reflective practice. I went through that book online. It's a difficult, went through the information on use the computer. It is, but I finally find out those timeline model, for me to do reflective practice. I will talk about very soon. And the third one is that John Dewey's account of reflection. Those we got a compulsory reading too. Yeah, I'm talking about this use for me reflection of learning and study. And the last one is continued professional development in social work. Yeah, I went through that. I just start about not much, but I just helped me to build my outcome for this course. Yeah, that's the one I just want to simplify to talk about John Dewey's this series, because first thing, this one is we were taught in at a class, and second thing is I read through those articles quite roughly, to be honest. But I can see is this series is very good for a complex context, including disciplinary setting. I think the professional field I will to face is in the future is just like those kind of setting. I think is good. Another third reason I like to focus on this one is John Dewey is his theory has influenced the Chinese experts on education and philosophy at the beginning of the 20th century. I remember when about 20 years ago, I read one Chinese Mandarin translation version about John Dewey's theory in China. Yeah, but unfortunately, there was a block after the beginning of the 20th century. The reason that the communists, so they blocked, but they still in what's that? In like a theory research and in some China because John Dewey spent 3 years in China. Between 1919 to 1921, he tried to, invited by his students, 3 very famous Chinese experts on education. They went to America at the beginning of the 20th century. This is why I read that when Alex talk about this thing at the class, I just remind myself and I try to find out the Chinese version 1 and those 3 articles. Yeah, about it. It's helped me to understand, those articles you write. That's what I want to try to do. And I even call my friend in China to find that one from some university if they can. Yeah. So I found another one is just like a timeline for me to, reflective practice. Is that one is the same thing because I chose this one because I have similar working experience and reflection and review myself, review my performance before, you know, just like in a moment, looking back, looking again, move on. Yeah, at the moment it's easy to understand it, you know, like good perfection are always, you know, looking forward or looking back. Just make a sense of the situation. That's the first challenge for me when I do my job before in China. I always do this way and analyze and analysis. I even can't, you know, pronounce those words. Yeah, analyze and analysis to just summarize your feeling from the work and summarize your performance from your from your practice. So in order to move on, so my outcome for this course is just exactly like this book state. Yeah, continuing professional development will enhance the knowledge and the skills and improve the ways of working. So another task is just recommended by Alex to cooperate with Shanshan. We're working on an article just like people transition for their professional career. What's the difference in China and in New Zealand? Self-evaluation. At the beginning, I'm lost again. As everybody knows, those bubble. That's one thing. Really, you know, confusing. Like spend probably 10 days, almost 2 weeks, to get you familiar to the basic thing. You know, basic tactic for the bubble. That's one thing. Second thing is for me, I have never been so close to this kind of academic level, to be honest. So I lost. I don't know if I'm the proper method for study. Yeah, I have talked to the friend, some you know, Chinese or even the Kiwi friend. They give me a very good advice. So I took about 3 weeks, you know, to just like waste the time, you know, for myself. I reflect myself. Just like I waste the time about 3 weeks. But after that, when I involve in and getting deeper and deeper, I can get a feeling about you know, how to just like. The people said before, you just study this course for myself exactly, just fill the gaps, the knowledge gaps. And the important thing I got quite impressed from Veronica and a guest speaker in the class. Yeah, just learn how to learn. I think that for myself at this stage is very important to recreate my ability to move forward. Yeah, I really need those we were told at this class, you know, for me, because I still can remember at the beginning when I got the first email is replying my question from